Company will only reimburse parking, not transit? Alright then. A few years ago, I was working in downtown Los Angeles, but living in San Diego. For those of you who don't know, that's over 175-mile-per-day commute. I wasn't about to put my car through that, and so I took the train every morning to Union Station, then backtracked via subway to the job site. The cost of the Amtrak weekly pass was basically the same price of gas. But I thought I'd try to get that extra $3.50 per day from the subway covered since I wasn't using the parking reimbursement in my contract. The $17.50 per week wasn't going to bankrupt me, but I figured I'd try. Came to the boss and asked, basically, since I'm not driving to work and getting reimbursed for parking at $10, could I submit my subway receipts at $3.50 and get that covered? And was told to pound sand. Now, the way the reimbursement worked was that you pulled a parking slip when you got to work and paid it at the end of the day. Then, on Mondays, you would submit all 5 parking slips from the previous week, and the $50 would be added to your paycheck. Untaxed, obviously. So, every day from then on, when I took the train into work, I just walked into the parking structure and pulled a ticket. I didn't have a vehicle and so I didn't need to worry about paying for the ticket to leave. But the contractor didn't know that. They didn't have access to the system, which is why they didn't validate everyone's parking and skip the middleman. And as far as they knew, I was just driving in like everyone else. TL. Dr. Contractor refused to cover my $17.50 subway toll in good faith because it wasn't in my contract. And so they ended up paying me the $50 per W reimbursement that was in my contract. You spent 6+ hours a day on a train? They wouldn't need actual receipts? California has what's called the parking cashout law that requires employers to pay an employee who doesn't use parking the equivalent in cash. https www.spur.org/news/20211207/how reviving forgotten California law can make commuting more sustainable. Too late now, but you were actually entitled to get the equivalent of the parking allowance paid to you as cash. Nice! Exclamation mark. Love it. That commute is brutal, though. I did a similar thing. My office was about 5 minutes from Dulles Airport. I traveled about 1 to 2 weeks a month, and it cost $3 a day to park in the company parking garage. I could take a cab to the airport and back for less than $10 each way. So a week of parking was $15 plus the $20 in cab fares. Less than $40 a trip. They wouldn't reimburse me for the parking. Only cab fares. I wasn't going to eat $15 a trip. So I found a tame cab driver who would give me a written receipt for the entire drive to my house. $75 each way. I paid him $25 instead of the $10. So he was well compensated for the 2 10-minute fares. I pocketed $100 a trip and paid the $15 parking from that. Wonder if anyone else figured out the same and made a carpool benefit out of it. Load up 3 coworkers. Everyone submit 5 tickets. Passengers chip $20 back to the driver. So he gets $60 after the reimbursement for parking. And passengers get $30 each. Damn. That's a hell of a commute. Mad respect for basically traveling 6+ hours a day on top of working. Ooh, this is excellent. Good on ya. Technically that's not really malicious compliance, it's just minor fraud. As a man who formerly lived in both those areas, why the hell would you do that to yourself for a single job? If it was that worth it, Wouldn't it be more worth it to more closer? So what do you after your 14-hour workday? Probably I expect it takes at least 2 hours for everything from getting ready in the morning to making dinner etc. Which leaves almost nothing for free time. IDK man doesn't seem worth it. I used to live in SoCal. And I hated the drive to LA. For any reason. Good on you for beating the system. Especially by finding a way to exclude the drive and nonsense on the road. Glad you found a way to make it work in your favor. I'm confused. If it was a reimbursement you paid to park, and then just got the money back at the end of the week, I don't understand. Beautiful MC. Nicely done. Well done. Nice work. LMAO serves them right. Exclamation mark. Is it really MC if it involves lying? Abs props for MC, Perseverance, and SoCal adaptations.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.